Okay, this is Impromptu, Carlos style. So, sounds like Scotty wants to talk. I'm hoping Lazuka is up. I know Kyle has been trying to get to me, and he hasn't been able to. So, I just put on my always in this room blue Christmas room shirt on. And no pants, but you should never see down there. If you look, close your eyes. What can I tell you? So there's no one out there. That's my kind. Yeah, Scotty, you had that feeling you wanted to talk or something. And I know Kyle wants to talk. He was trying to reach me for quite a while. And I know Lazuka is out there and hurting pretty bad. I hope he comes in. Hi, Lewis. I just put on my old Christmas room shirt. Didn't even put on pants. So no peeking down there. And I just turned the machine. I turned the machine on. I didn't even watch this back yet to see how the heck the Olympus is doing. From here, it doesn't look that good. But who cares? So how can we have 2 people in here and 3 thumbs up? What is going on? That don't make sense. Oh, well. It is what it is. So I haven't listened back to this again to see if I like... No, Scotty, the Lumix is not coming. The Lumix is not coming. Well, I shouldn't say it like that. That doesn't sound like faith, does it? B&H won't close me down, so I can't get the cameras, and that was the next one up on the list. Just the camera I wanted to see. And they go, Peter, we don't want you no more. No, actually what they said is that the links that come from my channel, very little, and I can believe that, okay? So I can understand why they feel kind of like that. But the problem is I don't get the cameras to play with like I used to. And the Panasonic S52. Hi, Mark. I see you, buddy. So the Panasonic S52 is a camera that I was trying to sell the R6 Canon for and switch over to that camera. So one of the first things I look for is the camera to do everything I want. Yeah, it does everything I want and then some. And then the next thing I look at, does it have the lenses that I want? Didn't even check my hair. So I just threw this shirt on. I only have my shorts on, so I can't stand up. I'd be embarrassed. Okay, so thank you, Mark. Looks good. Probably he means the, whatchamacallit, the Olympus. So Scott says, I thought you were going to buy one. Wanted to try it first. I get it. Yeah, I wanted to try one before I bought one. Because what if I try the camera and then I wind up, well, I don't like it. And if I wind up not liking it, why would I buy it? So I have a list over there of things that I'd like for them to send me. And when I send a certain number of items back, they send me the next things on the list. So I wrote and told them that I had sent the Canon R6 Mark II. I sent it back. Roy is here. Hi, Roy. This is not the show. I already did the show from 10 to 11:30. And then I was having a good time on Sly's show because I'm the moderator that they have there. The only one. I mean, Sly's got to get a second moderator. And then when she went off, Scott sounded like he wanted to do a longer show, and I wanted to find out how your dating is going. And I know that my friend Louis Lazuka had a tragedy in his family, and he kind of disappeared. And I know Kyle, who's in Oklahoma, not Sly's Kyle, but my Kyle. He's my Kyle, okay? He's been trying to reach me. And then Scott says, can you do longer tonight? So I just put on my blue shirt because I don't get dressed to come and sit at the computer. So when I finished my show at 11:30, I went, I took off my clothes, got down to my basically ready to go to bed. But I'm not going to bed. And if I do, I'll probably watch a movie. It's Friday night. You take your best girl out on Friday night, right? Or is that Saturday night? So when Sly finished, I came and I had everything is still on. It's all still running. So I just went live. I figured, hey, maybe there's some people that want to talk. I want to talk. I'm kind of like in a silly mood. So Roy says, just missed the other show and stumbled on this one. The other one was very silly, Roy. Roy, are you the Roy that's in England that I was trying to make you laugh, or is this somebody else? Because I was thinking nobody came in from that show, from Chuck's show. And I was thinking like, well, I guess they didn't like me very much. But I'm not sure what your last name was. It's not you. It's like there's a gazillion people. So you said that you just missed the other show, so you stumbled on this one. You know what I need? I need an ottoman so I can put my feet up. Are you still sending out the small Better Bounce cards to people watching your older videos? I took that down. I don't think it even connects to anything. I know a lot of new photographers don't know anything about supplementing their lighting with flash. I was thinking about that, Scott. You know what the problem is? It's not a big problem, okay? It's a small problem. So if you go to petergregg.com, Roy says, I'm the one, but Australian. Oh, I don't know why I thought you were in England, so you're in Australia. So anyway, Roy, that's amazing. That's an honor that you came here, dude. This is from that Chuck show the other day, Wednesday night at 3 in the morning. For you, it wasn't 3 in the morning, right? So, wow, you remembered me. I am flattered. Now, that is true flattery. Thank you. And if I'm not your cup of tea, I understand. Not a big deal. Okay? Not a big deal at all. I have a friend named Carlos, and he's got a YouTube channel called Motivated Minds. So the people that come in the show tonight, the normal one. So let me make one sentence out of two, okay? The people that come into my Friday night show, I'm very encouraging to them to try it because it's fun, it's an outlet, it's a learning experience. So I tell them to give it a shot. What are you going to have? 2, 3, 4 subscribers? I mean, you could be the biggest fool in the world or make the biggest mistakes. Maybe 2 or 3 people are going to see it. So give it a shot. So Roy is saying, yes, Chuck Show. Thank you so much, Roy. I am just so honored that you came. Humbled and honored because, you know, when you walk away, I was like 70% asleep. Randy pushed me out of bed. All right, so that's what happened. So I've been checking on and off your live show most of today, but I missed it anyway. That's okay. I do it again. God willing, and the bridge isn't up, I do it again the next Friday. And then during the week on the big channel, the one that's got 39,000 subscribers, I try to put a show up there once a week. That's where people actually know me from. The Friday night is kind of just like the boys getting together. It's nothing more than chit-chatting. I read the comments. I stick my hand out when I know I'm not supposed to because the Nikon Z6 picks it up. Oh, that's right. I remember. You're running a Z6. We are Z6 buddies. Yes, we are. So I'm just kind of shocked so many people that night were running a Z6. So I'm running a Z6. That's obvious. It even says so when we get around to it up there. Okay. And I think Roy is running a Z6 sometimes. And am I mistaken, Roy, or was Chuck running a Z6 also? Not the Mark II. I'm just talking about straight Z6, like this guy right now is a Z6. So Scotty is saying, how can I find the video you were a guest on? Oh, Roy answers it. AP Studios. So he did a video. Today is Friday. So he did a video, I believe, last Friday. Because I was gotten up out of bed. It was either Friday or Saturday. One of those two. And it just went on. And so Randy woke me up. He called me and he says, wake up. I said, no, I am not waking up. Yes, Scotty, the ZFC has some kind of skin softening turned on. Don't say that every time, okay? It's like, I don't want that pointed out. But I do have skin softening turned on the ZFC. And it's been on for 3 weeks now. So I also have the same thing set up on the Z6. So why does this say, oh, this is the E10. Okay, so the E10 is higher, and the Z6 is actually my height, okay? So when this gets to the E6, the Z6, so the E10 also has skin softening turned on, but very low. So here's the Z6. It has skin softening turned on, but it's not called skin softening on the Z6. What you can do is on the midtones, you can turn down the sharpening for only the midtones. So you could set your sharpening overall at like +1. So look at my hair strands or follicles. Okay, they're pretty sharp. But when it comes, now do the same thing here on the ZFC. See where the hair is sticking out? Okay, so I have the sharpening set to normal. But then I have the ZFC has the same settings as the Z6. I know, is this boring, guys? Okay, it's not what I came here for. Okay, so I have the midtones sharpening by -1. And the Z6 is something that a lot of other cameras don't have. And this is an old camera. If you go to BPM or BMP or something.com where they sell used gear, you could get the Z6 for under $1,000, like $950, $960, something in that range. And if you shop carefully through them, some of them have very, very low mileage, okay? But the Z6 has something that almost no other camera has, and that's a clarity slider. So when I develop my pictures with Lightroom, I use the clarity slider for portraits because it doesn't dull out the hair. It doesn't dull out the eyes because you want sharp eyes for portraits, okay? But it will soft focus here, the skin. So I have like over here, you can see age spots. Just happens when you're 70 years old. What am I going to do? Nothing I can do about it. So you start looking for cameras that can help you. So the Nikon, the EM, the Olympus can't. Hi, Olympus. So the Olympus shows my bumps and all the stuff. Not too bad, honestly, but I haven't looked at it. You guys are looking at it. Okay. But look at the Nikon Z6. I have the clarity slider down to -3. And I have the midtones only, midtones sharpening. I have that set down to -1. Now, the ZFC, I might not have it updated to exactly what I just said. Plus, wait. The ZFC is a crop sensor camera. So maybe the same settings, it's starting to get clear now, okay? Maybe the same settings on the ZFC is too strong because it's a crop sensor and the Z6 is a full size, okay? So Sly is here. I thought my iPhone was sending me an old notification, told you Peter was on for an all-night. Oh, now we're sliding into an all-nighter. So I'll just repeat myself. I was hoping to catch maybe Lazuka. Maybe he might get up late and come in and say hi. Scott must have had a bad date because it sounds like he wanted to talk too. I'm teasing you, Scotty. But I do want to know how your Friday and Saturday night dates are doing. Okay. Kyle didn't come in yet. He's been trying to reach me for 2 days, but between the stuff we're doing in the garage with the roof and the fact that I took a heck of a long nap today. Whew, did I take a long nap. So he wasn't able to reach me. He even asked me, "Are you mad at me?" I said, "Of course not. I love you, dude. I'm not mad at you." So this is kind of a show where you don't have to watch. I don't even have my pants on. I just put on my Christmas room blue shirt, and because I have this shirt hanging on the door. So anytime I need to come in here and go on like really fast, I slap on this shirt. I guess because it's hanging there, basically doesn't need ironing. But I wash it about every 2-3 weeks. It gets what? Very little use. Unless I come in here stinking, like stinking Lincoln, you know. I don't know where I came up with that. That doesn't mean anything. Okay. So Roy says he bought his Z6 for $1,400 new when the Z6 II came out. So the very next comment is Sly. So I'm not popping them up. Okay, I'm just reading them off. You guys can see them on the side. It's actually over on this side, over outside the frame, out there. Okay. I know you like it when you see your names on there, but like I said, this show is going to go private or it's going to go unlisted because this is not this is not well produced. Oh, my big boy is here. Kyle is here. I'm here. I love you, Kyle. Thank you for coming in. I want you to be here. So wait a minute. Let's go back up. So Roy says he bought his Z6 for $1,400 new. Okay. And then I started to say Sly, and the next one is MPB. Okay, that's the right site. Now, I don't know if they ship to Australia, but I don't know what the initials stand for, but they have excellent prices on new gear, much better than KEH. I agree with that. MPB is because of Sly, is my new place to go to check on prices. So I did look up the Z6 on mpb.com. So you could just use that as a reference point, Roy, if you go over there. You could find so much used stuff there. And some of it's got the original packaging, some of it doesn't, some of it's got body caps, some doesn't. So you have to click the little part that show more or show details, because you could buy the same thing for the same price and get more stuff from one person than you can from another person. So it's one of those things where the smart shopper wins. So that's mpb.com. So if you could see it in Australia, you could use it as a shopping point or a pricing point for you. So Mark says, I'm using vMix. Have any experience with it? Yeah, the vMix was, if I remember, only on the Windows. You couldn't get it for Mac unless you did one of those where you ran a emulation program. But vMix is actually very, very developed. It's very pricey. When I looked at it, it was you buy it, one and done. So it was like $800 or $900 for what I was looking for. Okay, so that's where I left off. Oh, I remember. I downloaded it. I put it on the Windows computer, and I couldn't get the sound to sound proper. it sounded like I had a very, very faint gargling sound. So if you look back through my old shows, I don't remember if I did it here or if I did it on the big channel. So if you go to the big channel and you go to playlists, the ones that are all unlisted, you can't see them. Okay, so if it's not there, it's on this channel on the live streams. So you'll see on the Windows I used vMix, and I didn't like the sound. And I still liked Ecamm personally because of hands-on. You know, when you learn something, you know, when you go to the bathroom, you always use one hand, and if you switch to the other hand, it just don't feel right, okay? So it's the whole Windows experience just didn't feel right, not vMix. So vMix has a big following, and they've got a big development. It's not an American company, so you're on another time system for when you need support, okay? But they do take advantage of the high-level stuff that you could put in the Windows computers. So it does good. So Subculture says people often read my messages and they never respond. So are you talking about text messages, or are you talking about when you make a comment on a video? I usually respond unless I'm sleeping. I try to explain myself if I can't respond. Like you asked me today, am I mad at you? No. Okay. But I couldn't leave the people working or doing stuff in the garage. I don't know who they are. I don't want to say I don't trust them, but I don't trust them. I got to calm down. Okay. It's after midnight now. What time is it? 1:30. So, Sly, you finished with your show, or am I walking on you? I know, she finished. I watched to the very end. Okay. I tried to tease the boys a little bit. I thought maybe if they hear their names, people like to hear their names. So you were saying their names, and then if I wrote their names, I knew you were going to read it again, so that I know they're playing a game or doing something. So if my name is Peter, and I'm not really paying attention, but I have it turned on, and then I hear Peter, boing. So I figured if I said Jacob, or if I said Kevin, or you're Kyle, I couldn't remember Wade. I knew there was another guy, but I couldn't remember Wade's name. And it's ironic because Wade is the one that I saw in that video, correct? I'm not going to say anything more about it, so you don't have to say anything, okay? So I did see Wade in that video at the river. So I do know his name. He really is a skinny mini. I mean, skinny guy. So one of them was, or could be, looked like he could be in a GQ magazine. Was that Jacob? So they're not watching here, so I'm dropping names like they're listening to me, but they're on full blast on their games right now. But if they were tuned in, they'd be hearing their name every 2 seconds, and they'd be going like, what? This guy's talking about us. And then somebody would lose the shot, okay? So I'm talking about Sly's boys, okay? Sly has an extended set of boys that think of her as their mother, or in my Kyle's case, their grandmother, okay? And Sly doesn't like it when I call her grandmother. Granny, how you doing, Granny? Okay. So I do respond, and if I can't respond for a while, I'll come back and explain what happened. I tried to be polite. You know, you treat people the way you want to be treated. I've kind of learned that up. I've learned that myself. Oh, you're right, Sly. It is Wes. Okay. So do I know Wade? Sly says you're confusing Wade for Wes. So there's another guy. So you got more boys. You got yourself a little den group there, don't you? But yes, I did confuse Wade for Wes. Okay. You're 100% right. And when Sly is right, Sly is right. And Sly is right. Okay, so let's work our way back up. The ZFC lost focus. So what the problem is with the ZFC is it's really, really far. Okay, so hand gesticulations and stuff like that trick that camera. Number two, it also has the 50 millimeter G lens, 1.4 at 1.4, but it's on the ZFX adapter. So the camera is being handicapped a little bit. Okay. So, hi Charles. I wouldn't call it part 2. Did you read the title? I finished with Sly's show. I finished my show, and there's just too much energy to go to bed. And it sounded like some people wanted to talk. And I figured, I'll come sit here for a while. We'll chit-chat. No harm done. And when we're finished, then I'll just make this one not public. That's all. Wes isn't one of my boys. He's Ashlyn and Alexis's brother. Ah. Okay, so that's Ashlyn is married to Jacob, right? So they're the newlyweds. And Jacob is spending the night with 5 boys instead of with his bride. Very nice. Jacob, I think we need to have a talk. No, I think it's kind of killer for Ashlyn to let her husband have a good time with the guys. Guys need that. We want to get together and really hoot it up, okay? Have a good time, throw pretzels at each other, shoot each other birds, and laugh. And you can only do that with friends that you really trust. And so those are guys that are together with Grant for many years. So there's a trust factor. And for Jacob to open his house, to let 4 other guys come in, okay, with tables and chairs and computers so they could play games. How long are they going to play, Sly? Playing all night or all weekend or something like that, right? But they're going to have a good time. I feel jealous. I want to come too, okay? So I think it's the coolest thing. And for her to open the house, I'll bet you she's right there in the middle of the guys. I bet she's having a blast. So hats off to her. The phone's falling out of my pocket. I better take it out before it falls down. That's what happens when you're not wearing pants. What can I tell you? We're a pantsless society. Some people want to be boys. Some people want to be girls. That was the topic on the earlier show tonight, Roy. I don't think you want to go to that show, okay? That was not a normal show, Roy. I just want to let you know. That was not a normal show. That was an abnormal show. Completely. I went off the deep end. Scott did it. He's in here. He's trying to be all innocent and everything. And he tried to provoke me. So Sly is talking to Charles. And Charles says, seems like everyone is now going to Adorama for affiliate links. That was, for me, a happy coincidence. Because B&H said I can't have cameras. And I can't really blame them, honestly. If I'm not producing people to go over there, although I have produced over $280,000 in sales, okay, a lifetime sales, not this year. This year, that would be great. Okay. So I guess they must have tightened up. And my friend Simon came along and said, you know, I hear what's going on with B&H. He says, but I was able to get links over at Adorama. And Adorama is through a company called Howl, Howl. It's not direct. Okay, so listen, Charles, this is important, okay? It's not direct affiliate links. Amazon. Adorama has direct affiliate links. Yes, they do. And those affiliate links pay the same amount of money as everybody else. 1%, 2%, 3%. However, a company like Howl, which I see you, Scotty. You're not too old to be spanked. Just remember that. All right, so they will pay 8 to 12% on the same items. So that got my attention. So I signed up. I was accepted. Okay, apparently you have to do something to get accepted. All right. And you have to go to howl.com or Planet Howl. I'm sorry, it's called planethowl.com. Okay. You've got to get your link through there. So they have, I guess, contracts with Adorama. They have contracts with Best Buy. They have contracts with Samsung. They have contracts with a few others that I haven't heard their names, okay? I don't recognize their names. So you go over there. Crutchfield. Have you ever bought anything from Crutchfield? Okay. I used to buy from Crutchfield years ago. I haven't bought anything recently. But the Crutchfield, they're coming on strong. They're paying 12%. Yes, they have the Panasonic S5 Mark II. Yes, they have the Canon R6 Mark II. Yes, they have lenses. So it's like, if you look down in the links below, you'll notice I took away the company that's going to take you where it's going to take you, because it's not always Adorama. It might be Crutchfield. It might be Best Buy. So they manage the links for you. So that's where I'm putting the links. But tonight, as you guys heard on the real show, I got so excited about that turtle wax, but they don't sell it on Amazon, so I can't get a link. So these links are not a big deal, okay? But they add up. All right. So from Amazon, I think this for this month I might get like $30. All right, or less. It's more like $25. Okay, not a lot of money, right? But it's all these little things that add up. So I got that. I got B&H. I now have Adorama. I got Crutchfield. So I opened one up for Walmart. Lo and behold, I could put affiliate link for Walmart. Okay, so I'm hoping that this can come into $100 or $200, all of them combined, because I'm scraping for pennies now. So what do they say? Every little one every little bit counts. So let's see. So I think I left off with Sly. Wes isn't one of my boys. He's Ashlyn and Alexis's brother. Okay, got it. Okay, so Charles is saying, awesome. Sly says, Charles, the Mavo has a charging case. That's one of my prerequisites. Oh, it doesn't look like it has it. It's a prerequisite. Oh, so Sly wants that. I think each person is different. I don't need a charging case. I buy one of those cables where you plug in one USB plug, and you got 3 of them dangling, okay? You just plug them in and let them dangle. I could see them all hanging right there. The case is not necessary. And then for traveling, I buy a little pouch with a zipper, goes over the top. It's narrow, okay? Now, Sly is a lady, so for her, when she travels and she does heavy cable management, it's much more important. So you can't make choices for other people's. Okay, so she wants a charging case. But that mic does look nice. And the price is nice. Very nice. So I guess they would charge a lot extra, probably be $100 or more with a charging case. But the question is, how does it sound? I like it to sound good. Sly likes it to sound even better. So Charles, as everyone's going to Adorama. Scotty says, I ate an entire package of fruit chewy candy during the 10 o'clock show. So I'm pretty awake, all sugared up, are ya, Scott? I think you missed a few comments from earlier in this show, but no worries, mate. Yeah, this is more laid back because I'm not marking them as red, okay, that I have read them. And I'm not even putting them up, so I'm just trying to go down So if it jumps, it might jump me out of the way. So let's see what I didn't read. Pop, 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 pop. So I think I did read the one where you asked me if the ZFC has skin softening. And that got me to talk a bit. Roy says, I like his Z6. Okay, maybe I missed that one. Sorry, Roy. I usually go comment by comment, Roy, just so you know. And I don't skip anybody. But this is like Peter doesn't want to go to bed. He's a bad boy, so he's staying up. So Roy has his own channel, got his own cameras, and he goes on live, and he was on Chuck's live video too. So Roy isn't a newbie at this stuff. He's an oldie. Oldie. What's an oldie? So, and he says Chuck and Roy have Z6s, and Peter, don't forget Peter. Was there another guy that has Z6? I mean, you had 3 Z6s broadcasting that night. Okay. All right. So I'm just kind of like looking through the old ones and see what I missed. So I did get Mark. Mark doesn't sit there and just look at the screen. Okay. So he listens to me in the background. He usually has a drink to unravel, unwind, does whatever he does. If he's got a girlfriend over or a boyfriend over, oh, now I'm getting him mad. He's going to say something now. He's going to say, okay. So Roy says, let's all take our pants. Roy, I like your sense of humor, okay? You all could take your pants off. It wouldn't mean a squat. Diddly squat, okay? Me, I can't stand up. Not that I would, but it makes it a much more interesting show, though, right? I do have underwear on, okay? And so it's not, we're not going, what do they call it? Oh, my God, I can't think of it. Commando, okay? So Kyle told me he was here, so I read all those. The ZFC lost focus. I'm assuming it caught it again because it comes and goes. We got into Wade and Wes. Charles said awesome. And then Sly started talking about the Movo with the charging case. So I read those. And I got down to Scotty eating a whole bunch of sugar, and now he's flying around the room. Okay. So Sly says all weekend, but they're supposed to go home around 2, and everybody comes back in the morning. So it's 1:46, so it's 12:46 over there. They got a little time to go. Okay. Roy says, that's okay. I don't like normal. Which one was the normal? Oh, you just don't like... well, then you're in the right place, because I'm anything but normal, as you found out the other night. I felt a little bad because I felt like I was hogging the show. That's not my style. I don't think anybody would want to do that. So, got an itch. So I apologized a couple of times for that. Nobody hammered me. So the boys will be back at 2. And Scotty says Peter Gregg for president. Oh, no, I'm not doing it, Scott. I'm just not doing it. But now that you brought it up, there was some things I wanted to say that I didn't get to say. You weren't sure if I was being real or not, Scott, were you? Roy says, Sly, how do we get a cool blue name text like yours? Well, Sly's going to have to answer that, okay? Because I don't know what blue name text like yours means. Is it where I have Roy Bixby and it's in red? Is Sly's in blue? I'm taking guesses, Roy. So that's not the smartest thing to do. So if that's it, that's a setting in Ecamm. That's one and done. That's very easy. I'm slouching in the chair. I'm slouching down, guys. I'm getting real comfortable here. So Roy is talking to Sly. Oh, Roy, so you did see hers. Okay, cool. I was just going to say, did you know Sly has a show? Actually, most of the people here that you don't recognize, except for Scotty, have shows. I basically pushed everybody into having a show. And I'm pushing everybody to go live now. So little by little, we get drips of live here and there. So Roy is talking to Sly. Sly is talking to Charles. Sly is talking to Roy. Roy is talking to Sly. Sly is talking to Charles. Oh, Mark is talking to me. I was getting to feel left out there for a second. That bottle of wine was good. You drank the whole ding-dong bottle, Mark? Golly gee whiz. Well, you're like what, 22, 23 years old? Bah! He's not 22, 23 years old. But I think he's right around 30. So, what are the requirements for Walmart? They didn't ask me for any requirements. They just approved me, but that was a trick because I wasn't approved. They said something to the effect of you have an affiliate account now. Then go ahead and log in. So I went in and I logged in. And when I did, it said you were not approved. And there's no reason why. In other words, don't bother us. So I almost let it go. I figured, well, they looked at my YouTube channel. Maybe it doesn't have, what they need. But I came to the conclusion they're stupid, okay? Because I just applied again using another email address, the same YouTube channel. I don't remember if they asked me my phone number. I might have used my other cell number or something. I got approved. So now, I don't even know if I put anything in the description on this show. But that link for that wax that I was shouting about all night tonight is there, and that is an affiliate link. So tomorrow I'm going to look and see if any of you guys actually went and bought it. Of course, it doesn't tell me who bought it. It tells me how many people bought it. Okay. So I think the game with Walmart is to get yourself approved. That's the game over there, Charles. So, and I think you're pretty good at that. You're a smart guy. Never need to apologize to me. It's just part of my nature. I'm sorry for being sorry. It's just part of what I do. I try to be nice. At my age, I've been mean. I've been harsh. I've been sweet. I've been loving. I've been holding grudges. And after my parents passed away, nobody has perfect parents, but none of the bad things that my parents did to me, they don't even come to my mind anymore. It's like they don't matter. Once they're gone to heaven, I'm a Christian guy, so I believe my parents are in heaven. I believe my dog is in heaven too. Okay? So once they are in heaven, now this is from 2011 and 2015, I only think good thoughts about my parents. So I finally came to the conclusion, why don't I try to live life like that now while I'm alive? So I will have something sharp to say here and there. Like tonight, Scotty got me going on politics. You don't want to talk about politics. You don't want to talk about religion. And what else don't you want to talk about? I hit them all. I hit them all tonight. I mean, Scotty got me going, and I became what they call a soapbox. I don't know if you've got that terminology there. That's when you go to the corner, you get a soapbox, you stand up on the box. It's like a crate. And you just start talking, like giving a speech. So that's what I did. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of comments I get. So he's a photo dinosaur. He's a photo dinosaur. Okay, there's two ways to take that now, okay? So the wrong way is that all you do is take pictures of dinosaurs. Have you found any lately, Roy? How's that working out for you, bud? Okay. Big guy, I'm guessing they're far and few between. Or it means that you don't do much with video. You're very much into photography. And that's very large. It's a big group. It's not like a small group. But I can see how videos is stealing the show. And it's built on sentiment. I wish to God I had more videos of my mother, and I wish to God I had more videos of my dad. Okay, and my brother's in-laws are wonderful people, and I got lots of pictures. And when we look at the pictures and we reminisce, and they went to heaven too. Seems like a heaven is very populated with the people that I like. Okay, so, but I have a few videos of Dad. And let me tell you, we look at pictures and we talk about the pictures. But when we look at the videos, oh my God, the sentiment that comes out is like crazy. Okay, so I do remember that I didn't put any of my safety things on for this. So let me see if I can figure out how to put the safety things on, guys. Just give me a second, okay? Give me one quick second. What do I need to do? I need to go to my home page, and I need to find this live stream. So let's go to the live stream. Let's go to content. I'm talking out loud so you guys can kind of follow what I'm doing. Okay, so I found it. So how do I go to, let's click that. Oh, I'm there. Okay. All right. So no, I didn't put any of the safety things on. So anybody that doesn't do live streaming, they've got automatic computers out there that will come and bomb you, basically. Hot Girl 69, come see my channel. And they're put like 10 or 12 of them in a row. And it's like your moderators can't respond soon enough. And you're seeing it and you're going like, wow, that's not like what my show's about. So I found if you turn on that only subscribers can comment, okay, that means a person has to actually sign up to your channel for them to comment. Now, that comes in with the default setting that they have to be subscribed to your channel for 10 minutes before they comment. But they do allow you to change that, which is what I'm doing right now. So any duration, a person only has to be a subscriber to make a comment, okay? So I turned that on. And then I'm just going to leave that on and see what happens. But the other thing that you can turn on is what's called slow mode. And I found the computers that tried to bomb your channel when you're live, it's not really a person. They go searching for channels that just went live. Then they'll start bombing it with a porn or whatever it is that they're trying to sell. It might not even be porn. It's like how to make $100 a day or how to make $1,000 a day. Click on my channel, blah, blah, blah. Well, I don't want that, okay? So I turn on these as safety features. So now I have to click save, and now the safety features are on. Now I need to come back to my show, and now I'm back at my show, and now I got to take a quick look and see if anyone said anything nasty. Nope, we're safe. Okay, so we're doing good. So Ron is the one that prompted me about that. I'm almost laying down in my chair now. I look kind of like very chill and laid back. Well, that's okay. I'm enjoying this show as much as you guys. Is there anybody in here? Let me check. We got 5 people in here. So this is not a big show. It's just you and me, okay? So it's 2:45 in the afternoon where Roy is. So give or take. Scott says, can you imagine doing a green screen show and wearing green underwear? That would be freaking awesome. I got to think about that one, okay? It's like almost at the line, but the question is, does it go over the line? So you'll see nothing there because it'll be green screened. You'll just see the rest of the background. It'll look like that part of my body is missing. That's very interesting. So that is Scotty. So Scotty says, can you expand on why contractors are there, or is that confidential? It's not really confidential, but I don't think I want to say it on the air. I would tell you directly, not a problem. Okay. So I think, what do they say, Scott? Loose lips sink ships. So sometimes it's better not to say anything because it's an aha. And then if the wrong person hears it, it might be something you don't want to explain. It's just to repair something, and it's nothing glamorous, okay? It's just fix it, people. So I like the green underwear thing. I wonder if I can find green underwear. That would be a challenge. So Kyle says, me too. I'm not very normal, or I'm very not normal. See, I put you up. It's just habitual to click on the person you're talking about. And I'm trying not to do that. Okay? I'm just trying to kind of like fly my way through here. So, Sly, if you're listening, or anybody else that goes live, I've just showed myself that I can actually, come on, sit up. You look like a bum. Okay? That I can actually, while the show is on, I can go change the settings for the safety features. Like only the people that are subscribed, I can turn that on. So I did. And I set it to no duration, meaning all it has to be is a person has to be subscribed to this channel. Then they can make comments. So I don't think Hot Girl 69 is subscribed to my channel. So I'm thinking that's the block right there. So if a computer is pushing that thing, either they need to figure out how to overcome that, okay? And in that case, I would put what's called the slow mode, which means you can only put in a comment once every X number of seconds. So they can't flood me. So if they figured out, oh, we signed up for a subscription, we can make comments. So they program the computer to do that, but they haven't figured that out yet. Shh, don't tell anybody, okay? So I haven't gotten bombed since I did that. So I shared that with Randy. I shared that with Sly and a few other people that I can't even remember. Kyle, you need to learn that too, because if you go live, I have to teach you how to make it so that you don't get bombed with pornography, okay? I know you'd like to go see it, Kyle, okay? But no, not while you're doing live shows, okay? I'm teasing him. He's a good guy. Kyle is an awesome guy. Okay, so Roy is telling me it's 3:45 there. Greg seems too smart for president. Yeah? Where did you... Roy, did you take your medicine today? Seriously. I seem smart. And Roy says the turtle wax didn't taste as good. Now that's a good comment. Cha-ching, one for Roy. Okay? The turtle wax didn't taste that good. Okay. So Mark says, I love wine, Peter. I'm Italian. I'm an Italian boy. We like a wine, a women, and what else goes with that? Song, okay? So, yeah, I'm Greek. You know, I went to Bible college, all right? So there's a certain sector in Christianity, okay, that have very strange rules. It's a large sector. The Baptists, okay? Not that I want to name drop or anything. You're not allowed to drink. You're not allowed to dance, okay? And so this is stuff that's just part of my growing up as Greek. You drink the wine, the communion wine is wine. Hello? And it's, if you got a good priest, they use the good wine, all right? So when you go to a Baptist church and you receive communion, it's grape juice. What? What is this stuff? No offense to anybody, chill. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm just saying that what Mark has just said. I'm Italian. You grow up with a bottle of wine on the dinner table. It's part of the deal. That's why mostly Greek boys don't have an over-drinking problem. They're there. There's those that do, okay? And usually it's ones that have parents that say, no, you can't. But I grew up in a family where cigarettes were plentiful. I hated the smell of cigarettes. I think they stunk to high heaven. Cigars were worse. I did like the smell of a good pipe. It was like sweet. And they would stuff their pipe with stuff and they'd like and then suck on it. It was cool looking, okay? And the pipe smell had a sweet smell to it, okay? Now, I never smoked pipes, okay? If I had the opportunity, well, let me rephrase that. If I had the brains, I would have bought a pipe or two, because some of those pipes, like, wow, those are collector's items now if I had bought some pipes in my 20s. But I didn't, okay? And cigars smell just as bad to me. But the cigars get you a little bit happy, a little high, all right? And they're the cigar smoking. A bunch of my friends, they get together, they'll go outside because they know they're married. They're not allowed inside to smoke cigars. So all the guys will go out there, and they'll light up their cigars. They'll bite the tip and spit it out, and they'll lick the cigar, and then they'll light it up, and they'll go, Peter, here, have a cigar. I'm fine. I'm cool. Okay? So, and I don't drink either, but I do drink wine. I'll drink anything I want. I mean, I don't not drink because of religious reasons. I just don't like the taste of whiskey. It burns like hell. This is fun? Here, let me light a match and put it on my hand, too. We having fun yet? So, and it was a medicine for me. So when I got sick, my mother would make hot tea. She put lemon in it. She put honey in it. And she put whiskey in it. And then she'd make me drink it. Do you think I grew up liking whiskey? That was medication. No. I understand how nice a bottle of something looks. Some of the bottles are gorgeous. All right? So I'm not a heavy drinker, but I will drink the wine and the Greek dancing. Have you guys ever been to a Greek church festival where they have food and desserts and wines at the church? Okay, the Baptists say, sacrilege, back, okay? So they have the kids, that's the first thing you do is you join the dance group. So I went to Bible college, and they decided to throw me out because I would drink wine and I would dance. And that is just not allowed. That is a heretic. So I said, bye. And I remember going home that night, and I felt like crying. I mean, I'm a Christian guy. I went to a Christian college, and they said, we don't want you. That hurt real bad. Go, Christians! You just love each other, don't you? That's why I tell everybody I love you. And I don't have judgments. I'm beginning to have judgments, okay? So, like, for instance, children that can have sex change operations. I'm pulling a judgment on that. I don't think a child has the mental capacity to make any choice. The guy doesn't even know what his penis is for. He knows that he pees with it. That's about all he knows. So now you're telling me he can come in and say, I want a sex change operation. Really? What is that thing used for anyway? I don't know. I just want a sex change operation. So that is a little bit judgmental, but I think that should be illegal, okay? And I think it should also, judgments, it should be illegal that women should not, not women, genders should not be able to play on the opposite gender's teams. Because the men are going to clobber the crap out of the women. I'm a woman now. I got my nuts cut off. Okay, so I do have I am becoming a little bit judgmental, and I used to pride myself that I'm not. Everybody makes mistakes. What can I tell you? Like Roy says, turtle wax doesn't taste that good. So yes, no problem with you drinking the wine. I was just surprised at the whole bottle. You just downed the whole freaking bottle. Okay, want me to send you over another bottle? You haven't lived until you drink wine from Greece and drink it from Cyprus. You can't find it. Well, you're in Chicago. I'll bet you $1 to donuts you can find. I can't find it in Miami. I like a wine called Comandaria, like command, the word command. I command you to breathe, okay? Command-aria, like diarrhea, okay? So Comandaria. It's a very, very super highly specialized wine. You'd actually have to go into you know how they have Italian grocery stores? You'd have to find where the Greek grocery stores are. Mark, and go into there and jot it down. That is my all-time only favorite wine, period. There's no words after that. It's the end of a sentence. So comandaria is saying it with a little bit of a Greek accent, okay? Comandaria. It's commanderia, all right? It comes from Cyprus. It's about $30 a bottle if you're not getting ripped off, all right? If you're getting ripped off, sky's the limit, okay? Some people think they can price things the way they want them, and people will pay it. So Mark is loving the wine. Advantages of buying B&H and Adorama is the sales tax credits, says Scotty. Not anymore. If you buy from B&H, you're going to pay sales tax and you're going to pay shipping unless it's an item that is new or they're pushing free shipping. But if you use their credit card called Payboo, Payboo, that's their marketing team on steroids, okay? That's the way I was acting earlier tonight. Let's call our new credit card Payboo. Boo, okay? Boo-boo, come here, boo-boo. Use your boo-boo credit card. All right, so if you use the Payboo credit card, you don't pay shipping on anything, and you don't pay sales tax. So here's the gotcha. If you want to, let's say you buy camera A and you want camera B, and you're going to return camera A and you're going to get camera B, they will credit you camera A and put that credit towards camera B. But because you're now using a store credit, you're going to pay the sales tax. So what you have to do is you have to get a refund to that credit card. So you get all the money back in that credit card. And then you make a purchase of camera B using the Payboo credit card. And then again, you won't pay sales tax and you won't pay shipping. So I got caught on that. I said, why am I getting, it was quite a while ago, hundreds of dollars in sales tax? Well, because you didn't use the Payboo card. Yes, I did. No, you didn't. You used a B&H store credit. So with the B&H store credit, I have to pay sales tax? Yes, you do. He says, well, then I want a refund. I don't want a store. Okay, I'll take care of that for you. So that's how that works. All right. Roy says postage to Australia is murderous. Well, yeah. Subculture Kyle says, it is what it is. That should be a bumper sticker, Kyle. It is what it is. Now, you can say that on your show, but don't add your little fancy comments to go along with it, okay? Just say, and hold your tongue. Hold your tongue, Kyle. It is what it is. Now you won the battle. Good boy. I'm proud of you. Charles says I get an educational discount from B&H. It's not much, but it helps. Yes. I think you can get that also from Apple. So if you want to buy Final Cut Pro, like Randy's planning on buying Final Cut Pro, but he doesn't have an educator's thing. So for $199, he can get his Final Cut Pro. Okay? But here, we're going to bless you with Motion. We're going to bless you with, what's the other one they give you? Logic Pro. They're going to give you all their big software for very, very cheap. But you got to be able to get that educator license. So, Charles, if you can help Randy get the educator license, that would be good. Scotty says, I didn't think I would get you so riled up earlier, Peter. I think you're proud of yourself, Scott. Don't give me that humble thing. I don't go for that. Oh, I'm so humble. I'm so sweet. You were just shopping to get me perked up on something. And if it wasn't that one, you would have been somewhere else. You did a good job, though. Got to hand it to you. Absolutely. Got to hand it to you. So Roy says, I'm still looking for a dinosaur. I haven't taken a picture in a while, huh, Roy? Roy, you're proven to be quite a personality. Why were you so quiet the other night? Did I do that to you? I apologize. I know. I'm sorry. I'm apologizing. All right. But wow, dude, you got an awesome personality. You got an awesome sense of humor too. So Roy says, I only do video when I have to. Product, commercial, photography, trying to retire. I know that feeling. Charles says there's got plenty of dinosaurs in the animal kingdom. You know, he's right. So if you ever come to Florida from Australia, Roy, you can go to Disney and you can go to the animal kingdom and you can take pictures of dinosaurs. You'll finally be able to use your camera. How many years is it since you took a picture there, big boy, huh? Mark says, wait. Mark didn't say wait, okay? I said wait. Mark says, Peter, do you see the hearts when I tap them? No, I don't. So here's my question back at you. Where are you seeing these hearts? I'm kind of curious. Okay, so the reason I don't see hearts, actually, if somebody said something like, do you remember, Mark, when we had Hot Girl 69 was bombing me with all their porn sites, and it got deleted or something? I don't even see the deletions. Excuse me, let me rephrase that. I don't even see a deletion as getting deleted. So I would come down and I would read something that's completely gone, and you guys would be going like, is something wrong with Peter? Okay. So like Hot Girl 69 would come up, Randy or Sly or one of you guys would delete it. So it's not there no more. So you guys that are looking at on the side, wait, over here, on the side over here, that other way, okay, that way, I'm going to break. So on the side there, you see all the comments. So you'll see Hot Girl 69 was blocked, retracted, or deleted. Okay? I don't see that happened. So I have to be smart enough to know, don't say anything, Peter, because I want to. I'm in the habit of reading one after the other. So no, I don't see the hearts. Nothing comes through on Ecamm other than the comment and the name. So I see shoot, this is what I see. I'll put it up on the screen. I see your avatar, your name, and your comment. The only difference is there's no color on any of the text. It's all white. So shoot MDM and Peter, do you see the hearts when I tap them, is all white on my window. Okay? Now, when I put it up here, I get to choose that I want your channel to be a different color than your comment. That's my choice. Okay? And that's where I think somebody asked about the blue, and I wasn't sure if that's what they were talking about or not. Roy says that trigger words get bombed. Yep. And I have a list of 2,000 trigger words that I picked up that Google doesn't like. Okay. So I had a chat. Oh, chat is now open to everybody. Okay. I'm still here and still hungry. I'm with you, Kyle. Hey, Kyle. Kyle, wake up. I'm with you. I'm here and I'm hungry. Okay. Roy, you don't have to do QQQ. I mean, what do we got? We got 5 people. If I can't see your comment, forget it, dude. Okay. Which camera do you have the blue light problem? The Canon. Okay. So see the blue light? Where are they? Back here? Sony, I'm sorry, Nikon does them perfectly. That's the actual color of the blue light. Okay? Sony does them perfectly. Canon terms them violety, purple. Okay? Now, Canon doesn't turn me violet or purple. Okay? But because it's in the dark ground, see how it's reflecting on the Sony off the piano right there? My shoulder, this shoulder, my elbow, okay? See, okay, so it's, now the Olympus is fine with the color too. Okay, that blue over there is lighter because it's on the sidewall, all right? So Canon does that. So I created a LUT that solved that problem. And no more problems with the blue. Scotty liked that a lot because he doesn't like that violet. So Charles says, Disney is so upset at DeSantis. They said they are moving to Georgia and leaving Florida. What's the saying? Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Bye. Okay. So there's, for you guys that are not in this country, the governor of this state and the Disney World Company are at each other's throats lately. Okay. So Disney World has a contract where the land that they own, they self-govern it. So the Florida laws don't apply once you're in on Disneyland property, which is huge. I mean, huge. I can't overstate the amount of land they have here, okay? So Disney decided they're going to publicly back the sex change operations that children can have. And they're going to publicly back in their cartoons and things like that a boy can decide that he's a girl, or a girl can decide that she's a boy. But they're not playing now. They want to be considered a girl. They want to be on the girls' team. They want to go to the girls' bathrooms. We're talking about elementary school, 3-year-olds and higher, okay? So our governor said no dice, and Disney flexed its muscles. We're Disney, dude. We do whatever the hell we want, okay? So if you're a conservative like me, it's like, well, why can't they leave the kids alone and just Disney be Disney? I mean, I love Disney. I mean, when you go there, it's like you're on another planet, okay? It's gorgeous. There's no dirt on the roads. They got the monorails running in the sky. Why don't they just shut up? Make wonderful movies and cartoons. Why are they doing the political crap? Well, our governors came back and said, no, you're not. So he went to our Congress for the state of Florida and revoked their right to self-govern. So now Disney doesn't have the right to self-govern. They will have to pay taxes to Florida where before they didn't. Okay. And they will have to follow the rules of the state of Florida. They should have left well enough alone. They had a sweet, sweet thing going. Okay. So now Disney is firing back. No, Disney didn't say they're going to Georgia, Charles. Tell the truth, okay? Georgia said, we would be happy to have you here. That's what happened, okay? And then Disney said, oh, we'll have to think about that. So Disney didn't up and announce, that they are going to move to Georgia. But if they did, goodbye, okay? There would be other people that would come and take over Disney because Fox you're up there. You could tell me more about it, Charles, than I could tell you. You got Fox over there. You've got something, Hollywood Studios. Okay. You would have somebody would be more than willing to take over that land and make it even better than it is. So Disney needs to stop being political. A lot of these companies need, like Bud Beer. What's that? Budweiser beer? Seriously? Their stock went down $7 billion in value because of some trick they pulled. I don't even know what it was. Okay? But what it means to me now is if I go to a bar, which I'm not, okay, or if I go to the grocery store and I buy a 6-pack of Bud Light, that makes a statement now that I'm pro-transsexual, gender-changing something, because their advertisements now started to push that. So the beer became associated with that. I don't want my beer to talk while I'm online at the grocery store. I don't want it to say anything other than I'm buying beer. Okay? So guys are not going to go buy beer that says Budweiser on them now. You're not going to go to the bar with the boys and, hey, give me a Bud. Woo-hoo-hoo. So, like in just a matter of days or weeks, they got clobbered. It's just a bad move. So you got companies like Costco. Now, Costco makes a public statement We do not intend to getting involved in anything political. When I buy a shaver, I don't want a political shaver. I don't want political underwear. That's kind of funny when you think about it, okay? So now that group, whatever they are, they're trying to get everybody to go out and buy Budweiser beer. They're labeling it stronger. The problem is not that. The problem is what you're saying about yourself, okay, when you buy that. So we'll see how it plays out. So Disney, goodbye. Budweiser, goodbye. I mean, hello. There's just things that you should do and shouldn't do. Bum, bum. So that was Charles. So Scotty says Disney is moving to Georgia. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. When you think about the weather and you think about the traffic in Atlanta, you can't move now. Where exactly is Disney going to go? And then on top of that, Georgia has got some of the top churchy churches there. That is just such a perfect mix. I mean, it is almost hilarious. No, Scott's right. It is hilarious. So Roy says, I never understood why America uses blue screens and the UK uses green screens. Okay, so you're talking about green screening. The big screen is green screens. It's not blue. Okay, so the big thing with green screening is green screens. Okay, so I'm not going to give you a class on green screening and blue screening, but the first thing I bought was a green screen. And I had trouble with it because I looked things up. I tried to do, some research, like Sly does research. I'll do a little research now and then, and they all talk about wrinkles. So I thought the big thing with green screens is the wrinkles. So I bought me a steamer. It's still in the box down here. Okay. The wrinkles don't do diddly squat. What happens is if I put a green screen behind me, even if I put it 8 feet away, which is the recommended distance, okay, that green screen, because I bought the cheap one, the material has got a reflective nature to it. And it reflects green on me, and it makes an outline around my body. So if I engage the green screen, and no, I am not green screen. That's the real tree back there, okay? The green screen is folded up in the corner over there, okay? And that's the cheap one. Now, the one that you could see, like, see behind here? See that little green thing back there? That's a Westcott green screen. That one works because it's made out of a felt material. So the one that's laying on the floor or on the box over there was $19, and it was twice the size of that Westcott. But it's a green screen material, and it has its own sheen. That sheen causes a problem. So instead of coming up with a fabric that doesn't reflect, they found out that if you use a blue one, see over here? That's my blue Westcott green screen, okay? It left, all right? That is what I switched to from the cheapy green screen. And I bought the expensive blue screen, $79, okay? And it has no reflection, and it worked very well. But the trouble is blue is my favorite color, and so many of my shirts are blue. Blue, 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 okay? So it worked out where it probably was unnecessary, but it worked. But most of my shirts and different things here, look, my mouse pad, what color is it? My shirt, what color is it? You want to get technical? What color are my eyes? Okay? So the blue screen had trouble with the color blue because of Peter. So Jim Monday came in, and he gave me the money because my credit cards got closed down. Okay? It's a financial thing. To buy the blue screen. The green screen. So that one that you see in that corner now, right there. That's a Westcott $79, $80 green screen. And it is made out of like a microfiber or a felt. Almost zero to no reflection. So while they're talking wrinkles, 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 you've got to get the wrinkles out. The wrinkles didn't bother me, and that thing is it's in a ball. I can hang it, and the wrinkles will disappear, but the feedback to my body does not. So I tried putting a softbox on the floor behind my chair. I tried putting a softbox on each side of the green screen. I tried getting me to be brighter, and it's more than 10 feet back there, okay? So when you do see the little green screens that are hanging, there's a blue one on one side, there's a green one on the other, okay? So both of them are the Westcott brand. They're both more expensive than the $19.95 one that you can get, or the $14 one you can get on Amazon. But those are all, see the blue one in the background now? Do you see any sheen on that? Do you see any, does it look shiny anywhere? It doesn't. If you think you see shine, there's no shine. It's not reflecting back on me. Okay, and the green one does the same thing. It does not have any shine to it. But you pay a higher price for that. So instead of $15 for a small one or $20 for a bigger one, you pay $80 for a medium-sized one. So I'm tempted to get up and go close it, but I'm not wearing pants. So stuff it. You can't get me to stand up. Okay, I'm just being funny, guys. All right, and no, I'm not standing up. Okay, so it's not America uses blue and the UK uses green. It's basically what you need it for, and it's the green. You need both, and they need to be put into play for the right situation. It's kind of like saying, I don't understand why America uses a 50 millimeter lens and the UK uses a 35 millimeter lens. Now, Roy, you're into cameras probably even better than I am. That's not a true statement. You're going to use the lens for the job that you need. You're going to use the proper tool for the job that you're working with. It's the same with the green screens, okay? You use a blue in a darker environment, or if the color green is bothering you, let's say you've got a stage production of St. Patrick's Day parade. You could have an awful lot of green there, okay? So you would whip out your blue screen. Now, you could be the kind of photographer that only has one. You're sunk, okay? Because the green screen ain't going to work for your St. Patrick's Day video. And what would be a blue holiday? Whatever a blue holiday, Ocean Day or something. You're not going to use the blue one on that day. So it's the right tool for the right job. So Charles says, oh, he's talking to Scotty. Up. Scott Rogers, but it's true, they said it. Sly says, I had to do that the night I went live unlisted. Oh, you went unlisted on purpose. So when I'm done with this is not unlisted, right? This is full. Anybody can come in. Yeah, we've got 7 people. Okay. So we are now live. But when I'm done with this show, I don't think there's any quality of this show, honestly. But then the earlier one I did tonight wasn't much better. Okay. So this is going to go unlisted because it's an unscheduled show. Or unless you guys say it's okay, I'll leave it up. This is no harm. What do I have? 25 subscribers? So that's Sly. Kyle is laughing. That's subcultured. Something got in my eye. If I rub it too much, it's going to get red. Okay. So Scotty says it shows how nuts the Disney management is. Well, that's the truth. But I don't want to get into that. But they have a product. And they have a good product. And they have one that's been there for years. This is not something new that just popped up. Okay? They should be protecting the product. They shouldn't get involved in the sexuality of children. That is like so over the line. Remember I said there's a line and you can try to go up to it? What is the sexuality of children? I mean, if a guy walks up to my kid and starts talking about something sexual, he's going to get bopped. That's off topic. That's off hands-off topic, okay? And yet Disney is proclaiming all kinds of crazy things that they should be the farthest away from as possible. They should not want to be labeled with that kind of crap. It's horrendous. Doesn't matter. You know, children at that age, they should be protected by everybody around them. So that would show you how nuts the Disney management is. You're right. So Roy says, my favorite indulgence is coffee. Okay, so your kind of coffee and my kind of coffee is two different kinds of coffee. All right. First of all, I don't know much about coffee. I know a few basic, very, very shallow things about coffee. One, it smells awesome. Coffee can wake me up in the morning just with the smell. Then when you taste it, it tastes horrendous. Now, my dad used to drink coffee like it was going out of style, and it had to be black. And it only could be certain brands. So he was a coffee kind of a sewer. Kind of sewer. Okay? Now, for me to love coffee, it needs a lot of sugar and a lot of cream. So I get a little coffee with my cream and sugar, okay? But I don't think that's a coffee aficionado's way of drinking coffee. So that's Roy's indulgence. So did we miss Norm tonight? I don't remember Norm coming in. Did I insult him? Is he mad at me now? We go in circles. One guy's mad, then another guy's mad, then another one's mad. Okay? So that's why I try to learn to keep my mouth shut, but it doesn't seem to work. So Charles is talking to Scotty. He's explaining more about Disney. I don't want to get into that here, Charles. Okay, so I was just they're having their little fight. You're going to have to decide who's talking for the majority or what you think and make your own decision. So Roy says, Roy, cut it out with the QQQ unless you're just trying to be cute. Cute. I get it. All right, Roy's trying to be cute. Do you want me to call you cute? Okay, you're asking for it. Okay, I bet you talk to all the boys like that, Roy. And where they break the plates, that's the Greek. We break the plates. We use the cheap plates because they go flying. Actually, when you go to a Greek restaurant, they serve you the food. Then they bring a stack of plates, and it's not the plates that you eat on. You don't throw the food you don't throw the plates that your food's on, okay? You throw those plates, the ones that are 39 cents, because they'll start the dancing, and they'll drink a little, and they'll get happy, and oppa, kabam, pash. It's fun to take pictures of, Roy. If you've never been to a Greek festival, find a Greek church in your area. Once a year, they usually try to raise the funds to support the church, and they have a Greek festival. And it's usually about food, desserts, wine, and dancing, the culture, okay? So that is what they do for fun. So if you go there, bring your camera. Sounds like you were the coolest guy in college. Man, Mark, it's hilarious, and I really don't want to embarrass myself or the college, but they got all these rules. And you're supposed to be holier than thou, which is ridiculous, because I got friendly with the guys. So they have a big apartment building across the street that the college bought to be the dormitories, because people would come from out of state to go to college there. So they had X number of floors for the guys, X number of floors for the girls. So I might not have a class for an hour or two, so I would go. Okay? Now, I went to college, normal college, and they didn't do the crap that went on in the Christian college and the dormitories. I was shocked. The boys' dorms. Oh, my God. The things that I saw going on over there were freaking crazy. The mildest thing that I could tell you, is in class, you have to wear a tie. Okay? You can't wear shorts. You can't wear shorts. I forgot I'm using the mic. All right? You have to address your professor as sir. You've got your Bible. You've got your notes. You can't really question them because I did that, and boy, did I learn. And I'm thinking like, okay, this is prim and proper center number 1. So I went home with some of the guys because I didn't have a class for a couple hours. The guys are walking up and down. This is the mildest thing I can tell you. No clothes. Up and down the hallway, no clothes. I'm going, what's going on here? What is going on here? I don't feel very comfortable. Well, the answer was, take your clothes off. Excuse me, all right? This is the Christian college. Now let's go over to the regular college, Miami-Dade Community College, University of Miami. I've been to both, okay? Oh, FIU, but went to that college too. I like going to colleges, obviously. Never realized that before. Okay? Go to the dorms. Nothing like that goes on in the dorms over there. Okay? They got dorm monitors. The girls can't sneak into the boys' dorms. They're trying to sneak, of course, you know. But you don't have to. Just go out, you know. So I was shocked, Mark. Sounds like you were the coolest guy in college. I was a handful. I was a freaking handful in college. All right? I had to learn to keep my mouth shut. That's where I learned to keep my mouth shut. Okay? Because Charles says, didn't Jesus drink wine and dance with David in the furnace? David danced in the streets. Okay? Do you know why the Baptists did away with the drinking and the dancing? You can't be part of. That's part of the Baptist church rules. It's because John the Baptist was beheaded because the king got drunk, and Salome did a sexual dance to get the king aroused. This is all in the Bible, okay? And he said, dance more seductively. I'll give you anything you want, up to 1/3 of my kingdom. In other words, turn me on, girl, turn me on. So she turned it on, according to the Bible. And then he says, oh, he probably dirtied his pants, okay? And she says, I want the head of John the Baptist. The king cringed because he was afraid of him, okay? So her mother put her up to that. So if you're going to outlaw dancing and drinking, you should outlaw mothers because it was the 3 of them that caused John the Baptist to get beheaded. And that's why that is in the doctrinal statements of the Baptist Church. So yes, he did drink wine. So Roy said, I have to put this up, okay? Adorama charged me $114 shipping on a $5 item with free shipping. And that's because you're in Australia. I can't answer that. How? How am I going to answer that? That sounds so stupid, you know. You need to buy your $5 item over in Australia. Golly gee whiz, Batman. So, Roy says, AP Studio was on for 10.5 hours that night. Yeah, they set a record. They went on and on. Actually, it went beyond what I was able to stay up. At 6 o'clock, I had to, bye, guys. This is getting past my abilities. And I left, and you guys, and right when I left, that other guy that I like, he came up on the video. I like that guy. Frames. That was his name. What a dry, wonderful sense of humor that boy has. If he has a channel, please let me know, Roy. I like his personality. I like his sense of humor. Dang. He'll say something with the same voice. One is completely a joke and one is completely serious. And you really have to pay attention to tell the difference between the two. I love that. I love that guy, okay? Not in a bad way, okay? If you guys are not past that, grow up. So Charles says, I like Jewish wine. Manischewitz, Concord grape. Yeah, that's got 400 pounds of sugar in it. Yeah, but it's a good wine. I'd drink it. Like the sugary stuff, Charles. Hey, you're a doctor. What the heck's wrong with you getting me to drink sugar wine? So Roy says, kids sex change. As if life wasn't confusing enough. They don't know what it's about. They can't make those decisions. That's why in the United States you cannot have the death penalty for a child up to a certain age. I don't know what that age is. Because the child can be completely convinced that they killed somebody when they didn't. And they'll confess to it. Because in their heart, they feel that they killed their friend or they feel they killed their dad. They feel that pain. And in a court of law, they will confess, yes, I killed my best friend. I should die. Okay? And then the court will give them the death penalty. Well, that's not right because the child can't understand the clarity of explaining the truth from what he really believes in his heart. And I'm not saying right from wrong. I'm not going there at all. I'm just saying the child might not have really done the crime, but has somehow convinced himself or herself that he did. And therefore, they act like they did. And you can't convince them otherwise. So I think it was very smart that there is no death penalty for children. They can't make 1 and 1 come out to 2 sometimes. It's just part of life. That's why we don't let children get married at 5 years old. Okay? We don't let children drive their dad's Ferrari at 8 or 9 years old. That's the wrong timing. There's a right age for getting married. There's a right age for driving your dad's Ferrari, and it's not that age. But it's okay to do sexual changes and determinations at that age. Disney is 100% wrong, and they should be booted out, not threatened to move. Charles says Disney lost its magic. Absolutely. Someone needs to take over that company and make it good again. They were good at what they did. I mean, you look at some of these animations, it's like, dang, those are good. I mean, I've watched Aladdin 400 times. Okay, and yes, I've read the things that there's little bad meanings here and there. I was never able to be convinced. Okay. So Roy is talking to Sly. And Charles is saying, personally, I don't think they are that dumb to just pick up and leave. It would be a very dumb move. It would be a seriously dumb move. So let's say all of Georgia, well, it won't, basically takes their side. You need America to take their side. And I don't think Americans or Georgians are on the side of molesting kids mentally and legally. Okay? I don't think that's going to work. And if it does, boy, has this country changed. Okay? Come, Lord Jesus. Roy says, yeah, even America seems to use green screen these days, but they used to use blue screens in the past. Well, Roy, what can I tell you? I'm not that old, so I don't remember that far back. You made me walk into that one. Roy says, anything Westcott is what? Yeah, it's a good company. Westcott means well-made. I mostly shoot in the studios, so nearly all my shirts are black. Is there a reason for that? Or it's just what you like to wear? Charles says, I always shoot remotely. Can't use a chroma screen. Yeah, remotely. How are you going to do that? My coffee is the wet kind. Oh, so what you're saying in a roundabout way is you like all kinds of coffee. Do you drink that super sweet, super strong Greek coffee in a tiny cup? Not if I can help it. That is so caffeined out, I will look down and have 2 of what I used to have 1 of, okay? And you'll be flying around the roof. And I live in Florida, South Florida, Miami, okay? That same version of that coffee is on every corner. It's called Café con Leche or Colada. And that is a lot of sugar with a little coffee put in a machine with pressure and steam. And it's served in a little cup that big. And you just, whoop, that's it. It's gone. And the Greeks have their version of it. So yes, to answer your question. Jeff says, "Hi, what have I missed? You missed the whole show. The show finished. We went to Sly's show, and then I just started to go to bed. I sat in the chair. I put my shirt on, but I didn't put my pants on, so I'm not going to stand. Okay. I turned on the cameras, and we're just how long have we been chit-chatting now? An hour and 40 minutes, and all it is chit-chat. It is nothing more than chit-chat. So you haven't missed anything. As a matter of fact, unless this show has some kind of value to it, I might just make it unlisted after we're done, or I'll leave it. I mean, maybe it's getting later at night. I don't feel as picky. Roy says, my wife's family are Greek. Oh, so you have a little bit of experience. Let me talk to you, Roy. This is the way we do it. You should see the movie on My Big Fat Greek Wedding, okay? Most of that is true. My dad's Windex bottle is right here, and it's not been thrown away because it's been refilled 100 times, okay? But for sentimental reason, it said Dad. Dad always had to put Dad on his on anything. So Dad's got Dad on my chairs in here. Okay, Dad's got Dad on my table. So this has Dad on it, and it's not going to get dumped because this is Dad's Windex bottle. Okay? And you want to hear something funny? I cut my finger the other day. I came over here. I grabbed the Windex bottle, and I squirted my finger with the Windex. Now who's getting old? Roy says the $5 light modifier was out of stock when I was there. When you mean there, you mean in Florida or Miami? I mean in the U.S.? Jeez. So what you need is a friend. You buy the $5 item that gets shipped to them free. And then what's it going to cost to ship it to Australia? $30, okay? Unless it's really big. But if it's a light modifier, it's not that big, okay? So it's like me selling something to somebody in Australia. Yeah, it's going to cost some money, all right? But $115? Boy, they saw you coming, dude. That's a ripoff if I have ever heard one. Black shirts don't reflect light. Hello? That's what the problem with the green screen. They reflect the light. And guess what color the green screen reflects? Purple? No. White? No. Blue? No. Green? Bah, you got it. The green screen reflects green. And if you don't get a proper one, which means you're going to pay $80 to $100, you're going to be reflecting light. So all these people on YouTube, all are the cheapy weepies. They are not going to pay for the big stuff, and they're the ones giving advice to everybody. And it's the wrong advice. Here's how you iron it. Here's how you get the wrinkles out. The wrinkles don't matter, dude. Okay? I'm sure at a certain level they do. But even that one that's balled up in a ball right now wouldn't affect the green screen at all. It would be completely gone. But what it would do is it would outline my whole body all the way, and my hair would get a little green tint to it. Like, what's up with that? My hair is not green. You know, that's only for the guy that can't blow his nose. It's achoo. Ugh. And little by little, he's wiping his nose and sliding it up to his hair. Okay. Bad joke. So black shirts don't reflect light in the studio. All coffee is good coffee. Oh, wait, I'm supposed to talk into this thing. All coffee is good coffee. Black shirts don't reflect light in the studio. The Chit Chat show is appreciated. So you think my Chit Chat show should stay public, or I need to take it off? We lived that big fat Greek wedding, but I survived. Then you got it. You understand. Roy says, Adorama US. Okay, so here's a question, Roy. These companies like B&H and Adorama are good size, Roy, right? Am I right? And a lot of their customers are in places like Australia or England. So my question is, in all the years oh God, my hair's, all the years that they've existed, why haven't they made an attempt to make a satellite shipping center in Australia and a satellite shipping center in the UK or the European, Union over there, the Euro nations? Why haven't they opened that? Tesla did that. Shipping cars back and forth was a pain in the ass. So they opened a plant over there. If the government takes it over, they'll probably explode it and just, write it off. In the meantime, they're selling Teslas made in China. And it seems like a natural thing to do. So is there something that the government won't allow? Or is it just a bad business decision? That's kind of like a question. It's kind of like a educated question. So excuse me, like I said, I apologize for that dumb question. So Roy says he doesn't use green screen very much. Gray backgrounds are much more versatile. Very excellent. You can get them into any color or brightness. You can pick the screen. Like if I'm sitting here, I could put a light right behind me with a cone on it facing only that way, and I can make that any color I want. So I have taken a picture or two in my lifetime. You'd never know it by looking at me. Scotty says, I rewatched these streams many times, looking forward to the continuation of the Sweet Sleep channel. I meant to make a show, I think it was day before yesterday, and something started with the construction, or I should call it a repair. I'm calling it a construction. And it kind of threw me off track. But I am just itching to get in there with because I've never done it with, properly with the Z6. So I want to do it with the Z6, and now I want to see how the Olympus does. So we actually have a very nice representation in here tonight. Okay, we've got a Nikon camera. We got 2 Nikon cameras. We got a Sony camera, and we have an Olympus camera. So where the Olympus camera was before, I had a second Sony camera, which it did very well. And it might wind up back there again when I look at this. I don't know if I'm looking bad here. I'm going to take this and put it back in the kitchen, okay? But if I'm looking good, then it could stay for a while. Nothing wrong with changing things up a little bit. Nobody says I have to wear the same pair of pants every day. I can wear no pants if I want. Sexy legs and all. No, they're not sexy. So anyway, B&H and Adorama are big, but are not here. Well, I know that much. Don't tell me what I know. I want to know if they're big. What is your consensus? This has to be you dipping into your own mind, because there's nobody's going to tell you or me. Why haven't they made a satellite shipping center, one in Australia and one in England? Unless they're not as big as I think. Maybe it's not worth it for them to spend $1 million or $2 million to open up and stock all the same merchandise they've got in New York to have it there so they could ship it right out to you. Maybe that's too much of something to accomplish. So it's a genuine question. It's not a trick question, and I don't have an answer. But it makes sense to me, that would, be something that they would do. I don't know. I'm just thinking about it. All right. So there's no more comments. I think I'm still broadcasting. We are an hour and 50 minutes almost. So it looks like this show we're going to go 2 hours. So I'll go through each camera and tell you what I think. The Olympus, for as old as it is, as good as it does, that is still a great buy. There's just a camera that eclipsed it, and that is this camera. And so the camera eclipsed it by price. So you look up, anyone that's listening, you look up for a used Olympus EM1 Mark II, and then you look up for a used Nikon Z6 Mark I. Okay, and now you got full frame versus micro four thirds. Okay, you've got On the Olympus side, you've got one of the best image stabilization systems. On the Nikon side, you've got a stabilization system. Okay. You've got, I think, more lenses available to you on the Nikon side, especially with the FTZ adapter. I see you, Kyle. I'm still here. Got nothing left to say. You just being with me, Kyle, that's all I want. You understand that? Just be here with me. That's why you're my friend. Okay? I want you to be here with me. If you have nothing to say, then say nothing. If I ask you a question, answer the question. So I do have the bad word filter on there. So if you do try to explain yourself a little more exuberantly than you should, the filter is not going to let it come to me. So you can rest on that. So I'm going to try to call you tomorrow because I should have a break from the repairman, okay? But then Monday it's back. Now tomorrow night I'm going to my brother's for dinner. He's cooking some kind of steak. I like steak. You like steak, guys? So, and he's cooking it specially for me because he's making it what they call sous vide. Sous vide will take a tough steak and make it ultra tender. And it's like, yes, please, I'll have two. And steak is something that I can eat on my low sugar eating regimen. It's called keto or carnivore. I made yogurt a couple of days ago, but I recorded that. I put that up. So what I recorded yesterday and today is how to work a distiller, a water distiller. You would never think anybody in their right mind would have a water distiller. You go to the grocery store, you buy a jug of distilled water, and you're done. What's with buying the water distiller? So it got gifted to me. So as I said in the video, I didn't say, all right, Kyle, you're going to understand this. I didn't say what was in my mind. In my mind, I wanted to say, what are you, dumb? You bought me a water distiller? Who in their right mind makes a water distiller as a gift? But my mouth said, thank you so much. That was a very thoughtful gift. I'm going to have to look into this. I never thought of a water distiller. See the difference, Kyle? The difference between what goes on inside here and what comes outside here. This is where the brain needs to make a gate. Open, close, okay? So, and I said that on my video, all right? So I hope that person doesn't get offended, all right? But I told them I really don't have a use for it. And they said, well, see if you can exchange it. Well, the answer is no, I can't. I tried, but I didn't tell them that. So, and they're not going to watch tonight. Mark has said, would you take 40 megapixels with an APC sensor or a full frame at 24? The full frame at 24. Okay. And here's something interesting. I've seen you 100 times tonight, and I have something to say to you. Okay. You'd think my brain would have gotten the message. Wait, I have something to say to Mark. Okay. And here's what I have to say to you. Okay. It's really a conversation. I like to have my imaging here a step above. I don't want it to be equal to everybody else, not in an egotistical way, not in a snotty way, well, maybe a little bit in an egotistical way. I feel kind of proud of myself that my picture looks really good. And that's why I'm sensitive when somebody says, your picture doesn't look that good. Okay, I want to know why right away so that I can look into that. Okay. So that kind of thinking, plus I like to be a little abnormal, okay? When I say abnormal, I'm not saying a bad thing. I'm just saying I don't want to go with the flow, follow the crowd, do what everybody else does. What is that your parents would say? If your friends jumped off a cliff, you're going to jump off the cliff too? Because when you say, you know, my friends all went that night. Well, if your friends jumped off the cliff, you're going to jump off the cliff also? Well, maybe. No. All right. So, Mark, I've gotten an interest. It got sparked by Charles to start with, okay, in the GFX 100S. So I understand, and it's a medium format camera. So that's right off the bat what makes me different, okay? And in the comments, like on B&H or Adorama or anywhere else where you can see that camera for sale, you see a lot of comments that say, the picture is astounding. It's so three-dimensional. It's unbelievably clear. Now, I don't want to get so clear that I look ugly again, okay? But I figured, you know, it's kind of like it's a 0.79 crop if you want to figure things out to go over to comparing it to full frame, okay? So for this room, if this Nikon Z6 was a GFX 100S. Oh, wait, before I go there, I also learned through studying a little bit that the line that you cross to go from it's okay to this is exceptionally good now is with the addition of the S on the GFX 100S. Okay? So the GFX 100 is no way near as good as the GFX 100S. The GFS 100X is kind of like what Panasonic did with the S5. The S5 is a contrast detection focus system, but the S5 Mark II is a phase detection focus system, and it's a good one. I understand that the GFX 100 is a contrast detection focus system, and I don't think very highly of those. But the GFX 100S is now a phase detection focus system. The camera is small, and it feels like you're basically using a full-frame camera, but you're shooting medium format. Can you see me getting a little excited here? So I wanted to share that with you because I've even been looking at the lenses. You know, Dream World, okay? So I would want the 110 f2 lens, okay, because 0.79 on a 110 millimeter is an 85 millimeter. Well, guess what lens I have on the Nikon Z6? 85 millimeters. When it comes back around to that camera, you'll see that the Nikon Z6 has an 85 millimeter lens. That's the lens that Randy bought me as a gift, as a present. It's an 85 millimeter 1.8. So the depth of field that you're going to see because of the distance on the 110 is an f2, but it comes in at f1.4. This is the ZV-E10. That's the one up there, okay? So that's a crop sensor with an f1.4 f-stop lens. So that's the Sigma. Okay, so this is the Viltrix, the one that Randy bought me, okay? So this is an 85 millimeter, and it's the right millimeter for me to sit here in my chair. It blurs the background, okay? It does everything well. If I could go down to f1.4, I'm there. But there is no such lens that I could afford or that Randy could afford, okay? So the 110 millimeter f2 is the equivalent on the GFX 100S as an 85 1.4. And that lens, in the bigger scheme of things, is not $2,000. It's $900. But according to some people in the comments, they've been put on sale for $499. So here's my question, Mark. Am I barking up the wrong tree, or should I have a little bit of inquisitiveness and wanting to differentiate myself by using a GFX 100S sitting in this chair? Okay? And also being able to get up and take it someplace, take pictures. They have a lens that translates to 18 millimeters. So I take that to my brother's house, okay? So sometimes you get sparked up about something that doesn't matter, and it's stupid. And that's why I wanted, because I know you shoot with some medium frame film cameras, so I was kind of curious. So some people are actually, Roy, I like the GFX 100, but it doesn't have a leaf shutter like the Hasselblad. So the leaf shutter, and why Roy is objecting to it, is nothing that I would object to. But a photographer that's working in a studio, a leaf shutter, okay, is built into the lens. And what happens is it will sync with your flash system at any speed at all. No limitations, okay? So the focal plane shutter, which is what all of these cameras have, and the ones that you guys know about, they will only sync up to certain speeds, and it's usually 1/200th of a second. Some will go to 250, some are even lower at 180, okay? So having a leaf shutter is a deal breaker. So you wouldn't buy the GFX 100, okay, if you're shooting studio and strobes, because you could shoot at 1/500th of a second, and your shots are going to be, ooh la la, crystal clear. Because remember, it's a bigger image. The slightest movement will actually cause a blur. A movement, a shake from a focal plane shutter, and that's the shutter that goes, you know, ka-choo, you know, the one that you see. That can cause a movement. Now, a leaf shutter goes, it's that silent, and it's no vibration. 100% vibration free. So that shows you how a photographer that's used to shooting in a studio is sensitive to one thing, where a photographer that's retired and doesn't give a crap about the studio is sensitive to something else. So I want the image part, but I don't need a leaf shutter. I'm not going back in the wedding business, okay? And if I do go back into business and it's in a studio setting, I'll have to pony up and get a leaf shutter system. Or I didn't do that. I actually just shot with mirror up. That's what I did, okay? So Scotty says he loves the leaf shutter. Roy says, I sold my Hasselblad H, but it's a lot more work. Roy says medium format isn't great for video. Oh, that's the first shot that I've gotten on it. So I tried to look up some video on it, but you're right. I haven't seen something like a super wow factor. I've seen coloring where the coloring is out of this world, but that doesn't have anything to do with the camera. I mean, the camera. I mean, you could do that on an iPhone, all right? So Roy says, my Hassie H syncs up to 2,000 without the horrible HSS or hypersync. You can go to 5,000 on a leaf shutter, unless they've limited in some way that I'm not aware of. I had the Hasselblad system. There's a Rollei SL66 sitting back there, 2 1/4, okay? And it's a focal plane. We had to buy the Hasselblad, all right, because the Hasselblad has the leaf shutter. The leaf shutter, your shutter doesn't matter. You can shoot outside with fill-in at 1/5,000th of a second. You're in sync, okay? So where did I leave off? So Roy says he can go up to 2,000. Mark says, I shoot street, fashion, and fine art, and I'm a big fan of Fujifilm. Now, Mark, listen to my question. How about medium format as a size? What do you think about that? So Roy just introduced the first roadblock, okay, and that is, what did he say? What did you say, Roy? I'm trying to find it. Maybe it's scrolled up. Roy said something about video, and it doesn't do that good for video. But that would be so darn disappointing. That would be super disappointing. So I would hear that, and then I would say, well, I want to get one in here, but now I can't. Okay? So his Hasselblad is a lot more work. Oh, here it is. Medium format. There it is. That's the one I was looking for, Roy. Medium format isn't great at video. That's supposedly changed at the 100S. Or I'm wishfully thinking. Because I've been paying attention to the marketing. I've been paying attention to the comments. So there's a 50S and there's a 100S. And it seems that the 100S is stellar, stellar, stellar. And then when you come in with a comment like that, I put a lot of weight behind your words. So now the only step for me to do is to actually try it and then come to the conclusion that my Z6 is perfectly fine. Peter, you don't need to do anything else, okay? I don't like that. I want to shoot for the stars, you know? That was not meant to be a pun. So Scotty says synchro sub. Okay, I've heard that term. I don't think I've ever used it. Roy is talking to Mark in Chicago. Roy is in Australia. You see how we all meet here? Cool. I love the Fuji build quality and still use a Fuji GX680 with phase 1 back in the studio. Nice. Scotty says SynchroSync shooting with a leaf shutter is a joy. Okay. Well, the leaf shutter is a joy all by itself. Sly says I have to head to bed. Oh, it's 3 o'clock. This is going to end soon. Sly, go. Go to bed. I'm gonna shut this out in 3 minutes. I got to head to bed, guys, early. Tomorrow, everyone, have a great weekend. See you next Friday. Love you, Sly. Love everybody here. Roy says the closer to the media size, the closer to the media size the sensor is, the easier to get a good video. Okay, but that's theory. I want to know what will it do here? Am I suddenly gonna take a little step better because I've got a medium form? Who in their right mind, Roy? Seriously, you're even questioning me right now, okay? Who in their right mind would shoot medium format in the Christmas room, okay, 100 megapixels, 4K? It doesn't fit, okay? But the key, the qualifier here, I want to be different, but not at the expense of making myself worse at anything. Mark says, for medium format, Peter, the GFX50S2 is great in size, and I can pull it off on street photography. The video is actually decent as well. That's what I read. The 100S, is there 100S2? Am I missing something here? And the the 50S2 have become equal to using a good full frame. So if you get a 47 megapixel full frame Sony or the R5, okay, which is 45 megapixels, and now the rumors are somebody's going to come in with more megapixels, blah, 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 okay? Well, why not move straight up all the way to medium format? And the people were heralding the wonderfulness of the the handling of the GFX 100S. So now you've introduced the question: is there a 100S2 or is just 100S? So whatever one I was looking up, they were saying a lot of nice things. There was hardly anything negative. So Roy says, I'll shoot anything anywhere, but it's not always a good idea. You're not going to dissuade me, Roy. Sorry. I'm going to figure out a way to test that here. And I might come to the very, very conclusion that you're saying. Not worth that kind of price range, buddy, because how much is that camera? $6,000? Okay. And the price came down, too. So the GFX 100 is actually more than the S. And the S is the better camera. So they're squeezing the price points and squeezing the functionality. So my curiosity has raised. It's not the normal person that's going to do like Chuck is not going to put a GFX 100S in his studio to go and do his show. It just doesn't add up. But because I'm a little bit eccentric, I go for the higher quality. I like something that's a little bit interesting. So there's a little ego involved there too, okay? That's become a question. All right, guys, this show is over. We are done. I have read every comment, I hope, top to bottom. Let's close it out on the Z6 because I just kind of like the way that camera looks. There it is. Here's the Z6 if I sit up. Thank you for joining me for an impromptu show, Roy. Thank you so much for being here. I really am honored with you coming in. You were so quiet. Even Randy said the big thing is Roy said more than 16 words. What happened tonight? you're just, I guess we became friends. Okay. So, Kyle, Subcultured, okay, thank you for being here. You know, I love you. I love every single one of you guys, okay? And I pray for you every day. Whether you guys are Christian or not doesn't matter. I pray every single day. Oh, God, do something with them, please. No, I do pray for you seriously. Much nicer than that, okay? So that is what I wanted to say. Thank you for being here. I'm going to mull over whether this is going to stay public or not. It might be different enough where it might cause people to come, or it might be different enough where it might cause people to drop off, okay? At this point, this channel's not big enough where I really care all that much. As long as we have fun together and I'm respectful of everybody and I love everybody and you get that feeling, you've got to have that knowledge and feeling. It's no sense for me to say it and then you feel like I'm an idiot, okay? So I like to portray the fact that you need to buy the turtle wax. See, that's the screwy part, okay? So anyway, love you guys. This was a fun just get together and talk. By the way, Roy, I know you're still here. This is when I got woken up to join Chuck's video. Just a few minutes ago would be. This is 3:18 now here. So it would have been like 20 minutes ago that Randy shoved me out of bed. Get over there and turn those cameras on, okay? So then I went for 3.5 more hours, and I think that's when that was it. I'm watching the sunrise and the drapes, okay? Seriously. All right, guys, love you all. I'm going to say good night. Good night. Oh, Roy, every Friday at 10 o'clock, God willing, and the bridge isn't up. Impromptu shows mean just that. It's like improvisation. Carlos does that, which is why I said like Carlos does. All of a sudden, he's live. No explanation, no heads up, no warning. So this was one of those. This was a Carlos thing. I just turned the cameras on and went live. Now, I will not do that on the big channel, okay? That's much more structured. Got to stay within the framework there. There's a lot less joking there, a lot less joking, okay? So that won't happen on the big channel, okay? But on this channel, I almost have nothing to lose except make wonderful friends. And that's why sometimes we talk about washing machines or dishwashers. Or tonight, if you watch the other part, the real part of this show, I got off on a political tangent, which is very unlike me, okay? And I sold turtle wax, which is also unlike me. That's crazy. But I can do it here. What am I going to lose? 100 subscribers? I don't have that many to do that. So why would a midday show on Saturday do anything for you, Roy? It would get the people in the U.S. that are awake, but I would think Saturday is when you want to go out with your kids or meet up with family, same as Sundays. So tell me what's appealing about a midday here on Saturday. So what time would that be? Oh, no, Mr. Camera Junkie's on at 10 o'clock on Saturday night, which would make it your midday. Okay, so tomorrow night, if you want to find him, Mr. Camera Junkie will be going on at 10 tomorrow night, our time. So it'll be 10 plus 2 is 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, your time. Okay, so just a heads up in case you want to see it. So the Friday night is me and Sly, and that's it. All right, now I'm going to say good night for real. Good night. Bye.